There's a tunnel in Niagara Falls, Ontario, that most locals have heard of, but few dare to visit after dark. It's said that if you stand in the middle of it at midnight and strike a match, you'll hear a blood-curdling scream echo off the stone walls. Some say it's the spirit of a girl who died in flames. Others whisper it's something far older, something that never left. Some stories aren't lost to time. They're waiting to be found. Welcome to Timeless Hauntings. Tonight, we travel to one of Canada's most bone-chilling places, where ghost stories are whispered between generations, and the line between myth and memory is dangerously thin. This is the story of the Screaming Tunnel, located just off Warner Road, tucked beneath an old railway line. The tunnel itself doesn't look especially frightening during the day. It's only about 125 feet long, built in the early 1900s from limestone blocks to allow drainage beneath the tracks. But when the sun dips below the horizon, the atmosphere shifts. Locals report the tunnel becomes oppressively silent, as though the air itself is holding its breath. Visitors often say they feel watched. Cameras malfunction, batteries drain without warning, and then there's the scream. For decades, people have told the same story. If you walk into the middle of the tunnel at midnight and strike a single match, you'll hear it. A scream so shrill and desperate, it chills your bones. Some say it's the final cry of a child who died in fire. Others say it's not human at all. But where did this legend begin? The most commonly told origin story is as tragic as it is horrifying. According to the legend, over a century ago, a young girl, around 10 years old, lived in a nearby farmhouse with her parents. Accounts vary, but the most persistent version paints a grim picture. Her father was abusive, angry, and controlling. One night, during a drunken rage, a fight broke out. Some say he intended to kill his wife, and the girl ran to escape the violence. Others claim she was the direct target of his wrath. Whatever the case, the girl fled into the woods, trying to reach safety. She made it to the tunnel, but her father caught up with her, and in a moment of unspeakable cruelty, he doused her in oil and set her ablaze. They say she died screaming, her voice echoing against the stone, her footsteps scorched into the earth. Ever since, the tunnel has never been quiet. Not everyone believes the story of the burning girl. Some historians argue the tale was born from local gossip and evolved with time, like a twisted game of telephone. There's a competing theory that involves a young woman who was attacked inside the tunnel by a jealous lover. Another version tells of a girl who was caught in a barn fire near the tunnel and ran inside for shelter, only to succumb to her injuries there. But no matter which version you hear, they all end the same way, with a scream. It's become a rite of passage for teens in the area to visit the tunnel at night. Some film TikToks, others live stream. A few brave, or foolish, souls perform the ritual. Here's how it works. You walk into the tunnel just before midnight. You must be completely alone. No flashlights, no phones. You wait until the stroke of 12. Then, you strike a single match and hold it up. If the flame stays lit, nothing happens. But if it flickers and dies suddenly, without wind, you listen. Because that's when the scream comes. Dozens of videos online claim to have caught it. A few feature obvious edits, but others seem too real. One infamous video from 2017 shows a match flicker out, and 2 seconds later, a long, high-pitched wail echo through the tunnel. The uploader never posted again. In 2009, a Toronto-based photographer came to shoot long exposure photos of the tunnel. Around 11:30 p.m., as he set up his gear, his camera suddenly shut off. He reported a sudden drop in temperature and the sound of footsteps behind him. When he turned, no one was there. He packed up and left fast. A group of teens in 2013 dared one of their friends to walk into the tunnel alone. He did, but ran out less than a minute later, sobbing. He claimed to have heard someone whisper his name from the darkness. When they checked the video afterward, they could hear it too, but the voice wasn't his. A small ghost hunting crew came in 2019. They used EMF detectors, spirit boxes, and infrared cameras. Around midnight, their spirit box picked up a single word: run. Moments later, all of their equipment failed. Every battery drained simultaneously. They left without finishing the investigation. So what's really going on here? Skeptics say it's all urban legend, that the tunnel's shape naturally amplifies sound, making even tiny noises echo, that the match blowing out is just air currents, that stories of the scream are the power of suggestion, nothing more. But believers know better. They've heard the scream, or felt the presence, or walked out of that tunnel with a story they'll never share again. You see, the thing about the screaming tunnel is that it doesn't care if you believe. It's still waiting. And if you're brave or reckless enough to light that match, it might just scream for you. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed today's story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone brave enough to hear it. Also leave a comment if you know any interesting stories that you want me to cover. And remember, the past is never truly gone. It's always waiting to be discovered.